It's people! It's fucking people!
Everybody shut up!
That is good advice.
A group of soldiers pushed forward through a hostile war zone. They were almost taken by surprise, but they managed to react before the ambush could succeed. Distant blasts echoed as they advanced. Some climbed to a balcony and set up sniper fire, while the rest cleared the building step by step, forcing out enemies room after room until it was secured.
Clear right. Clear left. All clear.
Once the building was cleared, they regrouped outside. Moving down the street, they suddenly met a much larger force. Gunfire erupted immediately, and though they fought hard, the numbers were against them. In the retreat that followed, one soldier went down. Rhodey tried pulling him to safety, while the others laid down cover fire, but the man did not make it. Another wave of hostiles was moving in fast, leaving them no choice but to call for reinforcements over the radio. Then, without warning, a crimson glow appeared above, followed by the arrival of a massive machine. It released a beam that erased the enemy squad in seconds. Moments later, the light turned white, building energy until it discharged a storm of electricity. The strike hit the soldiers directly, lifting them and drawing them into the machine itself. Inside, restraints locked them in place as strange procedures began. When consciousness returned, each one found themselves confined within alien containers, lungs filled with some thick fluid. The systems eventually shut down, releasing them onto the floor where they gasped and expelled the liquid. Jax recognized it as a kind of stasis resin, though he had no idea why he knew the name.
I just want to know who to kill. Someone's definitely getting bled for this shit.
Uncertainty grew as they looked around. Symbols marked the walls, written in a language that did not belong to Earth. Yet Reyes picked up a plate that listed their names and unit codes, words he could somehow understand. When they asked how he understood, he replied with the same thing Jax said: he didn't know how. Their rifles were still loaded and ready, but the only clear memory they shared was of the fight at Hasaka, the red light and the siren blast that came after, finally the electric shock.
What's the last thing you remember?
Hasaka.
Kelly urged the group forward, warning that their captors could return at any moment. The group agreed and they started moving. At the end of the corridor, they came to a large circular door that would not respond to its control panel. Combining their strength, they forced it open and continued into another passage, where they discovered a second door bent out of its frame.
Reyes. You're up.
Reyes got into a ventilation hatch, holding a light in his mouth as he crawled through narrow metal tunnels. He found a junction split off, but only one carried a faint glow. By the group's order, he followed it until he reached another opening, slipping out on the far side of the damaged door.
Yup, I'm through. I'm on the other side of your hatch.
The rest of the squad followed him through the vent. From this side, the heavy door showed signs of a violent struggle, scarred with burns and deep dents, as if something powerful had tried to force its way through. Confused by the strange place, the group tried to make sense of the place and where it could be located. The corridors beyond twisted in confusing patterns, and Nash speculated that the structure could be part of an underwater detention site.
Bullshit.
No, I swear to God he told me he synced it and I'd believe him.
Unsettling noises echoed close by, and the group pressed ahead. Soon they spotted a smear of blood leading to a wall restraint. The trail brought them into a chamber filled with thick mist. As they looked around, a drop of blood landed on Raya's cheek, and when he looked up, he froze at the sight of bodies hanging upside down, stripped of their heads.
Oh shit.
Kelly, Gibbs, and Reyes pushed onward into the next chamber, where they found another corpse, mutilated and suspended above a strange platform. In the corner, a terrified woman was shackled to the wall. Kelly tried to ease her fear and moved to release her restraints. They managed to free her, but as soon as the chains fell, a massive alien beast attacked. It tore into Gibbs, slamming him aside with brutal force. Meanwhile, Nash had been searching the previous room and uncovered a weapon of unusual design. Hearing the commotion, he ran to join the others, opening fire alongside them. Their gunfire, however, barely left a mark on the creature's thick armor. The monster hurled them aside with ease. As it turned on Jax, Nash threw the strange weapon to Rhodey, who managed to power it up and fire a devastating shot that knocked the creature down. For a moment it looked over, but then it rose again, shrieking in rage. Before it could strike, the rescued woman stepped forward and killed it with a well-aimed blast to its head. The squad had no time to process Gibbs's death. Following the woman's lead, they pushed deeper into the structure. In the next corridor, the woman was surprised by hearing Kelly speaking words in her own language. Almost immediately, another alien appeared, armed with an energy rifle, and opened fire. More of its kind rushed in behind it, forcing the soldiers to grab the woman and retreat under a barrage of shots. A fierce fight broke between the soldiers and the aliens. The woman noticed a lever that could seal the passage and yanked it down. Kelly jammed the door with his knife for good measure, then ordered Jax to move with the woman and find a way out. The rest held the line as the aliens battered the door. Jax and the woman climbed through a shaft thick with cables, eventually reaching another vent, while Reyes remained behind to slow their pursuers. When the door gave way, he shot the first alien that forced itself through and managed to slam the barrier shut again. It only bought him moments. The creatures broke through once more and rushed him. He sprinted for the escape shaft, following the group, but one caught him by the leg and dragged him back into the corridor. Another alien leaned into the vent after them, only to have its head destroyed by a shot from Rhodey. The group pressed on until they shoved aside heavy beams and broke into a new chamber. When they learned Reyes hadn't survived, Nash erupted, shouting that they had just faced actual aliens. Kelly calmed him as best he could, and turned to Rhodey, asking how he had even known how to fire the alien weapon. Rhodey admitted he had no idea.
We all please agree that those are fucking aliens!
Hey! Enough!
Jax checked on the woman, though she insisted her wound was minor. Kelly translated her Russian responses, despite not understanding how he could. Through him, she called them sleepers and told them she's not going to tell them anything. She confirmed what they already feared: the attackers were not human.
It was aliens! It was fucking aliens! I knew the whole time!
The woman explained that they were inside a spaceship. After that, she shifted to English and told them they needed to find safety. Nash's panic grew louder until Rhodey forced him into silence, and she reminded them that wasting time would only get them killed.
They will be coming for us.
She speaks English.
Back where Reyes had fallen, his body was being torn apart. The aliens placed a strange device over him, pulling out his memories and uncovering everything he knew about the squad. Their leader, a scarred figure, used that knowledge to track the route they had taken. Reaching the damaged door, it activated a tool on its gauntlet and pressed forward. As the survivors advanced through the corridors, Kelly asked for the woman's name. She introduced herself as Ravshana, explaining that people close to her called her Ravi. She warned them further. The scarred alien was in command of many others, the walls around them were laced with sensors, and the enemy's purpose was to find a meal. Nash refused to believe what he heard. The group soon crossed a narrow bridge hanging over a deep void. All around them, countless points of light glowed. At first they looked like stars, but Jax realized they were pods, each one holding a human body. Ravi told them these were the sleepers. She told them they shouldn't be here, urging them to leave. Nash agreed with her idea, and they kept going.
Almighty, this is all sorts of fucked up, man.
We shouldn't be here.
In the following hall, they stopped briefly so Kelly could adjust Ravi's bandage. Nash, still unsettled, began muttering about demons, suggesting this might be a form of biblical prophecy of end of the days instead of an alien invasion.
Jax.
Yeah.
Bandage.
While Kelly worked on the bandage, he and Ravi exchanged pieces of their pasts, speaking quietly about where they had lived before the war. Ravi told him she has been here for a while and told him her parents were from Sochi. Kelly admitted he had once been married and was now a divorced father to a girl called Sarah. He told her he was from New York.
Home of the brave?
That's been the plan.
Eventually, they reached a large hangar stacked with containers. Ravi explained these were filled with items stolen from Earth, anything the aliens thought was worth taking back. Rhodey noticed the silence and pointed out that the lack of an attack likely meant the aliens were already preparing to surround them. Kelly agreed, deciding they would hold their ground and fight rather than be caught in a trap.
No, you can't fight them straight on. You have to hit and run.
Jax volunteered to lure the enemy towards them. He stepped into the passage and began making as much noise as he could, even singing loudly until the aliens noticed him. As they moved toward him, he fired a few shots, then sprinted down the corridor, forcing them to give chase.
Come on!
He fired in bursts while glancing back, never doing enough damage to stop them, but making sure they stayed on his trail. His run led straight to the hangar, where he continued to provoke them. When the aliens followed into the open space, Nash picked one off from above with a sniper shot, and the rest of the team closed in from all sides, cutting the creatures down until the last one fell. The moment of success ended quickly. Another group stormed in, this time carrying heavy shields that deflected every shot, even those aimed with precision from Nash. The squad scattered, weaving between containers before pulling back together. As they rushed for the exit, a blast hit Jax in the back, dropping him instantly. Nash, overcome with rage and grief, killed the one responsible in a hail of fire. The remaining four retreated down a corridor, firing as they moved until Ravi managed to close the door behind them. The relief was short-lived. Enemies were already appearing from the other direction. They forced open a hatch in the wall and slid down a steep slide, landing in a pit filled with bones and decaying flesh. The smell was unbearable, causing some of them to throw up. Nash's nerves began to spiral again when he realized the pit was filled with human flesh. Kelly shut him down with sharp authority.
Oh, shit! Shut the fuck up!
From above, a voice called out, agreeing with Kelly. Ravi looked up to see her mother, Anya, lowering a rope. Shocked, she climbed up and embraced her. The rest of the squad followed. When Kelly noticed Anya's clothing, he realized she was a Russian soldier.
You talk too much.
Anya guided them through shadowy passages, staying clear of the wall sensors, until they came to a hatch that opened into a basement. Once everyone was inside, she sealed it behind them. The walls were lined with rough sketches and markings. Kelly explained how his group had awoken in this place, and Anya revealed the unsettling truth. They had been held in a trophy room.
Where did you wake up?
I don't know.
Anya explained that their escape had only been possible because the ship's systems had broken down. She admitted she had lost all sense of time, but guessed she had been held for 20 to 30 years. That also meant Ravi had been born aboard this vessel.
She was born after the fall.
She then shared the harshest truth. Earth was already gone. Voyager 1, built to reach out peacefully to other life, had instead led this hostile species straight to humanity. They had captured the finest military leaders and linked them to machines that drained every tactic and strategy from their minds. For decades, the soldiers had been trapped inside artificial scenarios, fighting endless battles that were nothing more than studies for the invaders, so that they could outsmart humans. The planet had fallen within weeks. The neural link worked in both directions, which explained why some prisoners awoke with abilities they had never trained for. Anya referred to these as gifts.
And the ship is basically a giant shipping freighter.
This ship, she told them, carried stolen resources and prisoners back to the aliens' homeworld. Years ago, Ravi's father had tried to cripple it by sabotaging the reactor, and that attempt had caused the system's failure that freed them. Anya's own squad had died during the mission, leaving her alone. She told them they kept their distance from the sleepers. That is why they have survived this long in this strange place. Her ability, however, was unique. She could sense the aliens' presence and understand their speech. From that, she had learned they were close to repairing the communications relay. If it came online, reinforcements would arrive.
They will wipe us out and harvest the remaining holes.
During a brief rest, Nash muttered that they would never set foot on Earth again. Kelly studied a faded photograph of his daughter, realizing she would be close to 40 now if she had survived. Rhodey kept his grief silent, thinking about his own children and his wife as well.
You know what I keep thinking about?
They knew they could not keep running. The plan was simple but dangerous. The command center was on the top deck, defended by about 24 aliens. The ventilation shafts were the only path upward, and Anya had hidden a supply of explosives to give them an edge. In the ventilation shaft, they decided to split into teams. Rhodey and Kelly would draw attention, while Nash and the women carried the charges. Before they moved, Anya gave Kelly a stolen alien gauntlet that could project a shield, a final safeguard for what lay ahead. Anya showed him how it worked and they split.
Here to turn it off. Anya.
Nash's group reached the main chamber first and observed the guards from an upper ledge. At the same time, Kelly and Rhodey discovered a blood-stained motion sensor in one of the corridors. They searched for another, and when they found it, Kelly deliberately fired on it, ensuring the aliens knew where he was.
Honest motherfucker, come and get us.
Ravi and Nash talked about Jax, opening up about losing their best friends, bonding through it. The distraction worked. The guards left their posts, allowing Nash and the others to begin setting explosives in the chamber. When Kelly and Rhodey met the enemy, they struck them from behind, cutting down 2 before the others could react. More aliens flooded in, turning the fight into a brutal standoff. Kelly's shield kept them alive for a time, but the creatures pressed forward, using one of their own as cover to absorb the gunfire. Kelly and Rhodey were forced to retreat through another hallway, firing as they fell back. After being notified about Nash's team invading the command center, half the enemy squad broke away toward the chamber where Nash's team was implanting the explosives.
They're coming.
Nash, copy, over.
The sound of battle drew closer. Inside, Anya and the others braced for impact, but had no escape route. Kelly tried to reach them, but Rhodey shoved him aside and sealed the door, insisting he go save the others. Fighting the enemy, Rhodey emptied the alien weapon until it powered down, then switched to his sidearm and fought at close range. One of the creatures lifted him off the floor, but he pulled the pins on 2 grenades. The explosion consumed him and the aliens around him. The surviving attackers forced their way into the chamber, and the humans fought desperately. More shielded soldiers joined the assault, overwhelming them. Anya pushed Ravi toward an exit and ordered Nash to protect her.
No! Now you! Go with her. Keep her alive.
A towering alien entered and shot Anya down. Ravi screamed for her mother, but Nash dragged her back. Through the chaos, he caught one last glimpse of Anya pressing the detonator. The blast ripped through the chamber, destroying the machinery along with the aliens. Kelly reached out to Nash and made his way to them. In the corridor beyond, Nash spotted fresh hostiles coming their way. He shoved Ravi into a hatch for safety and ran off, drawing attention with gunfire and shouting. Trapped at a dead end, he began to sing, firing at every alien that came within range.
Lydia Compton.
In another section of the ship, Kelly stepped into a chamber where the walls were lined with metal cages. Inside those cages were groups of human captives. They begged and pleaded for release. He barely had a chance to react or even process what he was seeing before a waiting alien rushed at him and delivered a heavy blow, striking him down and leaving him unconscious. unconscious, Kelly drifted into a strange vision. In the vision, he saw his daughter standing before him. She was alive and smiling, giving him a moment of comfort. That comfort quickly turned to dread as the same alien ship appeared in the vision and carried her away. Kelly awoke suddenly inside a cramped cell, his head aching, and realized he was no longer alone. Beside him sat Ravi, who quietly explained the situation. She told him the grim news that the rest of their group was gone, taken by the creatures.
And your mother.
Not long after the aliens came again, they dragged Kelly roughly out of the cell and led him to the same strange operating table he had seen earlier. This time, the table was meant for him. They suspended him upside down, securing him in place as they prepared to cut him open. Just as the sharp blade was about to fall, a shot rang out. Nash, who had been hiding in the shadows, appeared at the last moment and killed the alien with a well-aimed blast.
How's it hanging, boss?
Get me the fuck down!
Reunited, Kelly and Nash regrouped quickly. Together, they began forcing their way down the long corridors of the ship. As they moved forward, they freed more of the prisoners from their cages. Nash fired a captured laser weapon, cutting down wave after wave of aliens that rushed to stop them, while Kelly focused on guiding the frightened captives towards safety. When the last of the prisoners had finally been freed, the group moved quickly. Kelly and Nash sealed the heavy doors behind them and fled down another corridor with Ravi in tow. The enemy, however, was close on their heels and refused to let them escape. Forced to take cover, they returned fire, but the constant attacks began to wear them down. Their supply was running low. Realizing the danger, Nash ripped the belt of grenades from his waist and threw it into the crowded corridor. Kelly slammed the door shut just before the explosion tore through. The group felt relief, but it only lasted for a moment before disaster struck again. Out of nowhere, Nash was stabbed from the closed door. The scarred alien leader, larger and stronger than the rest, stepped through the doorway and with a swift movement, tossed Nash aside as though he weighed nothing. Kelly, seeing the danger, ordered Ravi to run and escape. He decided to face the alien himself.
Go!
Kelly dodged swinging sword strikes, endured the crushing force of shield blows, and at one point was hurled violently upward into the ceiling. Each time he pulled himself back up, refusing to give in. Finally, when the alien lowered his head and charged forward, Kelly acted quickly. He timed the movement perfectly and triggered the heavy door mechanism, crushing the alien leader in the doorway frame. Exhausted but alive, they made their way outside the ship, escaping at last. But once they stepped into the open air, the sight before them brought only despair. The world they remembered was gone. Earth itself had been reduced to a wasteland, stripped bare of life and left in ruins. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our recap. Like the video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.